In a Santa Clarita retirement community, there's a house adorned with Halloween decorations that Beverly Fox has called home for the past 30 years. However, what should have been her forever home has become a nightmare threatening to leave her homeless.
I just remember getting something that said that I was going to be evicted from my home. 90-year-old, soon to be 91, October 2nd, 1932.
So the scam with reverse mortgages, the way it works is, the way Beverly's become a victim, and we're going to get it reversed, but what she's become a victim is really two things. First thing that happens is the loan gets sold from company A to company B. Now company B then says you have to do certain things in order to qualify for a reverse mortgage. Chief among these is you have to prove that you're alive and still living in the house. So according to PHH, what they did is they sent Beverly a letter. Now I doubt that this happened because when you start looking into these things, you find client after client after client where PHH claims to have sent this letter and nobody ever gets it. So whether they sent it or not is in doubt as far as I'm concerned, but even if they did, she'd get this letter from PHH, a company she doesn't do business with, has no idea who they are, and chose not to answer it, chose not even to open it. And that letter, what's inside there is you have to declare to PHH, according to them, that you are still alive. The way the law is written, the law simply says that you have to be alive and living in the property. It doesn't say you have to demonstrate that fact.
Beverly found herself entangled in a reverse mortgage scam, unaware that her loan had been sold off to PHH Mortgage, and unaware that they were continually adding fees until she received a notice of foreclosure.
It was horrible. It was just horrible. I cried.
PHH gets in trouble constantly for overcharging its clients, whether it's this fee or that fee or another fee, because PHH has found that it's profitable to steal from little old ladies and then later to torture them and say, pay us because otherwise we're going to foreclose. Threatening to take somebody's home away from them is torture. Charging them money that you're not allowed to charge them is theft. So when I say PHH steals and tortures little old ladies, I mean it, I stand behind it, and I'll say it again. PHH tortures little old ladies and steals from them, and that is what they are doing here.
Reverse mortgage scams often target the elderly and use difficult to understand tactics to justify additional fees, leaving the borrower with new debt, or in Beverly's case, an eviction. In Richard Sherman's fight for Beverly, navigating the company's non-transparent policies felt more like pulling teeth.
And what PHH does, they're very good at disguising the fees. These are the fees on Beverly's loan. And they're completely ridiculous. Everything is a code. You'll have to forgive me because I did not know what PHH's corporate advance code S305, S306, or S307 was. Now I know their foreclosure fees. I do this for a living. I've been doing it for 30 years. I don't know what PHH's codes are. It took us the better part of 3 weeks just to get this information. Then it took an additional 3 weeks just to get the codes because they didn't want to give us the codes.
Very, very angry with them. You know, I'm angry that you're trying to take my house away from me, that, you know, I'm 90 years old, soon to be 91, and I don't know where I would go.
The bank has a responsibility to at least provide some due diligence on this topic before they go putting somebody's house in foreclosure, particularly the elderly, particularly a community of people who is more financially vulnerable. But there's no rule that says they have to do that. There are laws to protect Beverly, but in most of the cases, if you have to hire an attorney to fight a case like this, you're looking at about $30,000 to $40,000 and 2 to 3 years of your life. And that's before you even get into a courtroom. That's a hell of a thing to have to spend your last of your time on this earth doing, fighting in a lawsuit to save your home that they shouldn't have been taking to begin with.
When asked what this home meant to her, without hesitation, Beverly said,
Everything. Everything. I don't know where I would go. I have nowhere to go if I don't stay here.